Welcome to Booty of the Year, the only podcast that has the science and the screaming to determine the best album of not any given year, very specifically the year of 2023. That's right. It's Movie of the Year presents Best of the Year, Album of the Year. I'm your host, Mike. What up? We're here to get rowdy. You already know the 8 albums we've been listening to nonstop. And maybe myself and the panelists will talk about, is there a point you've listened to an album too much and there's a peak and then the parabola starts to fall and you're like, nah, I don't know if this is the best album I've ever heard anymore. Let's get to those panelists. The one who is clearly champing at the bit to talk, Greg.
We changed the way we do the show so that we didn't have to listen to 16 albums because that was just way too many.
Smart. Smart.
Yeah. 8, you can definitely listen to 8 albums. But maybe it's too few. I've only listened to 8 albums for like the last 5 days, and I've done it basically on repeat. One of them stops, and I start the next one, and I still don't feel like I can remember anything about any of them.
I've found myself rebelling. Be like, yeah, you know what? Like, it has been a minute since you've listened to Eminem's first album. Fucking deep dive down that. Like,
the year's 1999,
and I have 9 Inch Nails. Also with us is Caitlin.
Yo, yes. So these albums, they're good this time.
They're good this time.
Some may say the best of
I
this
thought you were
year.
throwing shade on past years.
Yeah, take that, 2021.
Actually, to be honest, this is actually my favorite 8 albums that we've had. Last year's okay.
Yeah.
This year, much better.
Thinking about
good
last
job
year,
on
there was
music,
a lot of
people.
great albums, and I love the album that won. But I do think it's the most controversial best album of the year is the Black Thought album is the one everybody went, I'm just sick of hearing Mike and Ryan talk about it, I guess. Fine. That'll move on. And then that last name I mentioned is Ryan is here.
Hey, guys. I agreed with Caitlin. I do think that this is the best year maybe that we've ever had as far as an Elite 8. But I just pulled up last year, and whew. That's pretty good.
Good albums?
Yeah, I don't think last year was a year to say it was bad. I mean, I can't remember.
We can't remember when they were bad.
Yeah, but when you boil it down to 16 albums in a year, that's just a little bit more than one a month. And the albums come at you pretty fast and furious.
Except for 1921, which was all just covers of Bugle Boy.
Bugle Boy from Company B.
Play it again. Just loop it.
I know you guys know this one.
Who was the first recording exec who was like, all right, guys, hear me out. 2 different songs this year. Let's release 2 different songs.
We'll burn you at the stake. That is madness. So we've talked about this. So this album list is great. How is the year in music in general, do you think, Caitlin?
The year in music? I loved it. No, honestly, I think this is the year where I delved most, more into the new music of the year. And I liked a lot more of it. Last year, it was great, but I don't feel like there was a lot of, I like 20 different albums. This year, I feel like I could be oh, yeah, I liked the singles or I liked albums.
I was going to say, is that because you're getting old? But that's the opposite, actually. The older we get, the less we like new music.
Yeah.
So.
No, I think it's because we have Spotify Genius now, and it's able
the
to
algorithm is pretty
predict,
good.
what
You're getting
you
very
may like,
specific.
and it throws it. Specifically, Spotify really helps.
I heard
me,
a podcast
become better
recently
as a
where
person.
someone was like, the algorithm's pretty good, but it can never give you as good a recommendation as just someone in your life.
Yeah.
I disagree. The algorithm knows what I want to listen to, and honestly, I should not try to do that on my own anymore. The algorithm knows, and I should just give into that.
If someone in my life is affiliated with Pop Filter, I will listen to it.
Yeah.
If they are not, say my mother or my niece.
Oh my God, no.
If they say, "Oh, you should listen to this," I will straight up in their face say no, and I will walk away.
Your moms and nieces and coworkers of the world will be like, "Oh, so you like Blink-182 and Caroline Polacheck? Cool. Then have I got the thing for you? It's Bach's Fifth Symphony." They just say the words you said so they can build up to the thing that has fucking nothing to do with what you said at all.
I'm gonna push back though on the other thing that you guys said. I find when I let Spotify Genius, which I thought was a new nickname for me, but apparently you guys are talking about on the app.
I was talking about you.
Oh, thank you, buddy. Caitlin was not. which is a direct
Well,
insult to me.
We should tell
When
the
you call
listeners,
somebody else around me a
you make
genius,
us all very individualized playlists every day and different ones every
Yeah.
week.
sure. And I said I'm going to quit my job to do this, hinting at you guys should pay me what my job used to pay me. Nobody
shit.
picked up on that hint.
Mm.
I find that anytime I click on a thing that's Spotify, eventually it will get to the point where it's like Blink 182,
Yeah.
lit, Steal My Sunshine,
Lit and Land, man.
That's all I
L&L
get.
barbecue up in this house. Yeah, mine is no matter on their new one, the Daylist, and I told you guys this as friends. No matter what, if it's like, hey, you like pop rock from the 90s, cool. Hey, you like super moody accordion instruments. Semi-Charmed Life shows up on every fucking playlist they've ever made me. They are reading me for filth.
But like, and I'm gonna be honest. If it's not karaoke, if it's not one of my friends
Right.
singing that song, I don't need to hear that song again.
Yeah.
But like in Spotify's defense, and I think that we should all
Yeah.
defend the large corporations. You can't just say like, this person likes eclectic and switch that button.
No,
'cause
but
that's
maybe
not gonna work.
sprinkle
either,
some
so.
Beirut every once in a while. I don't always need Semi-Charmed Life.
Is Babe
Yeah.
Brute the
He
one that
pointed in through his accordion
audience of the
and hit the
Grammys?
person in the balcony with it.
Oh.
Are there any themes or like trends that we saw in music this year that popped out to you guys? Ryan?
For me, I think that one of the things I noticed about our Sweet 16, which you can go back and find in some point of the 3-hour
I've already
episode
deleted
that
those
we released a couple of
Back half
weeks ago.
out of my head. It's probably
Go to the middle parts. That's where we're talking about the music.
And then with this Elite 8, and then with like let's say if there was a what is the NC2A tournament called? The 32. Is there a name for that?
March Madness?
Yeah, like the
Oh,
thirsty
but when
32?
it's down to 32? Oh, I don't think you get a name yet.
Yeah, okay. I
Yeah.
think that
I like the thirsty 32.
They want it so
though.
bad.
they want it.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've noticed, and this sucks because I have this written in my notes, and now I'm gonna have even less to say in the
Oh, no.
main part of the show, is that a lot of the albums that rose to the cream of the crop of the year were people that were like, were we too experimental before? And let's not sell out, but could we make this a little more accessible for people that are listening? And I think those albums, and I think this Elite 8 is filled with
Yeah.
that. I think it really
Where,
worked for a lot
they
of
could
people.
argue as artists, and most of me does believe them that they're doing it. Is that they're like, well, no, now we're playing with the form of the pop song, and that is our experiment. Oh, and we're making more
Right.
money than we used to. That's interesting too. What a weird
Yeah.
side effect.
I heard on a podcast the other day. The
That's
podcast was
interesting.
about the song "Iris" by the Goo Goo Dolls from the movie City of Angels, and they played some of the Goo Goo Dolls' first album on the podcast. This is Rob Harvilla's 60 Songs That Explain the 90s, and the first album from the Goo Goo Dolls is fucking. It is screaming,
Yeah, it's butt rock,
thrashing
right?
guitars,
Yeah.
and they were like. Or, like those pirates from The Simpsons, what if we didn't bury the money, but we spent it
Yeah,
on
that's
things we
Sugar
like,
Ray.
and that's how you
like.
make
There's
money.
so many bands that they
one
had
thing
the
I don't
one
know if-
poppy song that they're like, fine, I
Yes.
guess I want my girlfriend to marry me, so I'll write this. And then they go, wait, people like this stuff now?
That's what we'll do. I don't know if it's just for this year, Mike, but I have to say this sampling has gotten to the point where it creates such a rich like text where it's not just like one thing is sampled,
Yeah.
but like there's like layers upon layers upon layers in some of these albums. And it felt like some of these songs I wanted to
Yeah.
be listening to like 6 times at the same time because there was just like so much going on and it was hard to almost keep tabs on all
Yeah.
of it in a way that was exciting. But I know that's probably not a trend just from this year, from the last
I
few
think
years maybe, but
I-
it seemed really
I totally
apparent
agree,
this
and
year.
I've been thinking about that a lot. Two things that happened. One is we're still getting pandemic and post-pandemic albums, so people like had time to just layer and loop and layer and loop and layer and loop. And it also feels sometimes, and only one I say specifically on this Elite 8, but a lot of albums throughout this year, it feels like the kids found Tribe Called Quest, who were kings of the layered sample back in the day. Yes, why?
But we don't want to listen to
or
Tribe
Tribe
Called
Called
We want to
Quest,
listen to music from
2016's
2023.
album. We'll take it from here, thanks. It came out in 2016.
It came out in the 2016s. There's one thing though that like is making me a little bit scared. This isn't necessarily about the music, but just about the world in general. And within the last couple of weeks, and this is what's
Middle
nice,
East stuff, yeah.
the Gaza Strip is going to rip away our music. What's nice about recording stuff about 2023 6 months later is that more news will come out. And within the last 2 weeks, two things happened. One, Pitchfork didn't shut down, but let's just say it's about to shut down.
It's just the name still is
Right.
a thing, right? Yeah.
There's going to be one Pitchfork in Bend, Oregon that we could still go to. And then at the same time, Universal,
label.
the biggest recording company or record label, thank you,
Oh,
in the
damn.
world said no more TikTok. You will not have our songs on there. And I don't know how many people are like me that get both their new music from Pitchfork and TikTok, but
Dude, that's a big straddle you got there.
but you're probably one or the other.
Yeah,
And that's how you
generationally.
that's how you find out about music is Pitchfork or TikTok. And those two things going away, it makes me nervous
Right.
about how we're going to get from January to November or December of next year.
Here's what I think you do.
Spotify
like,
Genius has got to be really
If Universal
good,
says something
you know?
to Spotify,
Gotta keep that up.
makes me nervous.
Wait until the podcast that you're on
Mhm.
starts releasing the albums that you're supposed to listen. That's what I would do. And then you listen to the albums that the podcast that you're on tells you to listen to.
Or very close to that, because it's probably what you'd find anyway, is Green Day and Alkaline Trio released new albums in 2024. You're probably good till the end of the year. All right.
Where is Lit and Len's duo album?
Why don't they do a split? Let's take the quickest of break, and when we come back, start making these great albums fight each other to the death. For our first battle in our first round, our number one seed is The Album by boygenius, the supergroup consisting of Julian Baker, Phoebe Bridgers, and Lucy Dacus. The album is a harmony-soaked indie rock record that delivers on the promise of their 2018 EP. Blending extremely inside jokes, literary references, and music history, one could say the album is about the trio's friendship. The chill-inducing opener includes the lines, "Who would I be without you, without them?" And gang, they're talking about each other. It's up against number 8 seed by another group of boy geniuses, if you can still call men in their 40s boys. That's Billy Woods and Kenny Segal's Maps. Maps is Woods' 16th studio album, and here the New York rapper sets his sights on the beauty and pitfalls, comfort and anxieties of constantly touring. Segal adds a jazzy, old-school hip-hop vibe to the production while feeling completely future-facing. The album features guest verses from a slew of other indie rappers, including Mike fan favorites, people who are fans of me, are also fans of these rappers, Aesop Rock and Danny Brown. So for this album, it's good to be Mike. Greg Budd, I ask you this. Which album more accurately encapsulates what it means to be in 2023?
Tough one.
That is a tough one. The Boy Genius one, the difference for me is the Boy Genius album was like you knew it was coming out. I knew it was coming out. It was like I braced for it. Here it is. It's coming. Even though Billy Woods has been around, you said this is his 16th album.
Yeah, I was stunned. I was like, so this is like, what, an 18-year-old kid who's probably fresh-faced?
This happens a lot with these end-of-the-year shows where I'm like, man, this band's cool. And it's like their 18th album. They're returning to their 1984 days.
And then you can't tell people that you like them now because they'll be like, oh, okay, rank all 16 of their albums.
Yeah. Oh, I listened
No.
to this new one recently. But I do have to say, you know what sounds more now? I guess just restricted to that question. I think Maps to me, because it has. We just talked about the sampling times 10, and this is the album that one of the ones I was really thinking of when I said that, which is like. There's so much going on in this album that sometimes it almost caused me to panic while listening to it because it's like I'm trying to follow the lyrics, which are too clever for me to understand. And then the beats like sometimes are like shifting within a song, becoming like a completely different version of the song, sometimes entering into like almost like spooky soundscapes.
This is spooky.
Oh, yeah. It's these songs are all like 3:30 and under, but because of I think how dense they are, I was like, well, this is the longest fucking album ever made, right? And I'm like, actually, it's not that it's dense as shit. It
Yes.
does kind of tire you out.
But
listening
in the
to it.
same way that like reading The Sound and the Fury tires you out, and so it's like it feels substantial and it feels very interesting. And so even though I didn't see this one coming, I still feel like it is a more modern sound to me.
And at least as opposed to Faulkner, you know that it's always Billy Woods talking. So that helps you out throughout the album.
The grammar's there for Billy Woods. If I will say, if you liked this in any way, and now that we're legally allowed to listen to other music, because after tonight, Billy Woods and Kenny Segal, their first endeavor together was in 2019 called Hiding Places. So now I'm super excited to dive into that. Now that I know that they have more of this stuff, that'll give me a head.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there for you, apparently.
Go ahead, Caitlin.
Oh, I was gonna say, okay, so this Boy Genius album, called The Record, not the album, Mike. The album is the name of the song of the album that the Jonas Brothers released in 2023. And I just want to clarify that in case anyone listening is like, oh, we're talking about Jonas Brothers? No, we're not.
Did I get that wrong?
You got
I'm
it.
so
You got
sorry.
it so wrong. You biffed it hardcore.
You got it wrong. You got it wrong, but it's okay
Oh,
because like
damn.
it brought me to like the Jonas Brothers in a happy place, and I like that.
No, we're talking about good music tonight.
Oh, okay, Mike.
That's how I gain my huge mistake and how I get the power back.
Was this, though, a
But Boy
reference to
Genius-
the Jonas Brothers?
It was 100%.
Probably.
He wanted to like sneak in the Jonas Brothers, and I wanted to say like I heard you and I feel you, and I'm here to take that in along with our listeners. We know the album is.
No, I meant
by
is
the Jonas
Boy
Brothers.
Genius referencing the Jonas Brothers? Are they the Jonas Sisters here, the three of them?
Shit.
No, they wanted to call it the White Album, or like there's like three like giant or like Nevermind Again. Like there's three giant rock albums that they thought about because their whole thing is like fuck men in rock. Even though they like their music, they don't love how they're seen as geniuses.
I guarantee there's a lot of
Hence
people
the
who have heard this album that call this the White Album. Like, that's not a problem.
The record, though, it does have a little bit of that same quality where the lyrically, I think that maybe besides Maps, this is probably our most clever lyrical
Yes.
album. I do feel like modern music, the lyrics are a real crapshoot. Sometimes it's like, I wish I didn't know what the lyrics were because this is like
Right.
so mundane. But Boy Genius is definitely another band where like it pays off to like look at the lyrics and follow them because they are quite clever and quite interesting.
I think, yeah, like all of these songs, like the sound is just more old school, right? And the songs start off with these very like traditional premises. And then the three of them, I don't know who's doing what. I don't know their
They
own work
rotate.
enough.
Each one leads a different song. Like they all brought their own stuff, and then they just rotate the whole time.
They
But,
each
like,
bring a different snack to practice.
And if you bring
Someone brings oranges.
oranges, you're fucking out of the band.
What the fuck?
I brought
Tom,
peanut
man?
Slice
M&Ms,
them.
you jerk.
I brought Little Caesars
That's not a
No
snack,
with
shit,
oranges on it.
It can be.
But the twists and turns of the lyrics, the way that they can, spin a phrase or spin a yarn or make it so them,
A sweet sounding song with devastating lyrics.
right?
Yeah.
And like the premises might be traditional and the sound might be traditional, but the way that they're like changing up these lyrics is like this is a whole new sound that Chuck Berry's cousin would call Chuck Berry. And tell
And
him
you know
about.
what? You might not like it, but your kids are gonna think it's the greatest. And going back to Dents, and we talked about Faulkner and Billy Woods. Faulkner referenced his own shit all the time. It probably doesn't make sense for this, actually. I shouldn't have brought him up, but you said him, so I was like, can I sound smart? But if you deep dive into the history of rock and roll in general and these women's solo careers, Lucy will be doing a twist on a line of Julian's line from her first album into a line from Leonard Cohen. Like, the blend and the density is bananas.
Somebody went on
This is like some
Genius.com
Taylor
today.
Swift shit.
Yeah, seriously. It's like almost meant.
Has anyone said that?
It's almost
Not
meant
yet
to
tonight.
be studied. And then there are just some lines that are just like I felt just really stuck with me. There's one that like you've never hurt me except for that one time that we don't talk about because it doesn't really matter anymore. That is such a
Yeah.
relationship line. There's like that's so many twists and turns within that one line, and it's so true and so real. And it's nice to have an album that pays off in that area as well.
In that same way of like, I'm going to do what you think these songs sounds like, but I'm going to have this own different way of writing them. Billy Woods, like, we're getting out of the era where rap is about the rapper's other songs and fame, even if it's their first album. They're just talking about how much gold and fame they have. And Billy Woods stuff is like, it really is.
Yes.
Patterson,
Oh, fuck
like,
yes. Great.
The ripping pages out of my journal and talking about the most mundane things and hoping Kenny Segal will back that up with beats, but you don't have to hope that. Like, the way that you write, bro, the way that you write Billy Woods, not Mike, Billy Woods, just it will carry us through the story no matter how, like, he'll tell a story about, like, sitting on a subway
and
or just
how he
being
will
in
not
New
show
York,
up at
and
soundcheck.
I'm enraptured.
People,
he's
need
not
to know
gonna
that
be
at this
there.
point. If you've listened to this album and Billy Woods is coming, and you're the sound guy, and you're like, I've been practicing my sound checking skills all day, buddy. You're gonna be let down.
Just have somebody else go
Billy
up
won't be
there and talk into the mic.
Not Billy.
Did
I feel like this sounds like it's the most poetry sounding
Maps.
album on our bracket.
I don't know which one you're talking about because it's both.
Okay, well, Maps. I would say Maps. The Boy Genius one is like a group of friends sitting in a cabin singing
And you
songs
have
together.
talented
Is
friends
what it
because
reminds me
that
of.
did not
and what it
remind
feels
me of
like.
my stupid friends in a stupid cabin at all.
It's-
Lucky.
I have some great friends.
But there is something like you can
Yes.
feel their friendship on the album, and I think like
Yeah.
the starting with that really tight, very beautiful harmony really does
What
set
an
the
awesome
stage
skill
so
set
well
and
for what's to
muscle
come.
to
I
not
was gonna ask you
overrely
guys
on.
this
I do
about
feel like weaker people would be like, well, we can do this and it's amazing. Should we do it all of the time? And they know to just be like, just Salt Bay, just a little
For every single
dash.
song.
I was going to ask you guys this about Maps, but we could ask this about both. With Maps, are these both Billy and Kenny? Are they happy people?
It's sonically,
Sad.
it's really bleak. Like if you turned off the lyrics, and I don't know why you would like this is like dark gray brutalist architecture is what you're looking at, and then turn the lyrics back on, and there's moments of joy, but it's mostly like I'm exhausted because I'm touring all the time because I'm not actually a high-level musician because I don't just talk about my other songs in gold, which means I have a niche audience and I love doing this, but goddamn am I tired is the vibe I got.
And not only is the touring and everything that every artist has to go through exhausting him, but also writing these lyrics that are so personal is also its different form of exhausting.
Yeah.
I looked up today. He's a 42-year-old dude with 2 kids. Just a family guy, just probably going to Trader Joe's whenever he wants.
I do feel like it is someone who has made peace with the compromises in their lives, and so like it sounds 42 to me. Like it sounds like someone who's like, no more bullshit. I have kind of turned into a parody of myself. I am kind of the monstrous version of myself. I'm kind of a killer so that I can get the paycheck at the end of the day, but I make peace with all of those things,
Right.
and I'm not like too hung up on it. Like that's the feeling I get from this. Like looking at what he really is full in the face.
But also not what I really appreciate, because this is another thing with rappers over 40 who are releasing great albums, is that he's also not talking shit on people who don't do what he does. There's not that thing of like, if you are still rapping about necklaces and
it's a whole
yachts,
different subgenre.
that you're a piece of shit. Like that never comes up either. This is just about him.
He's got too much to say that kind of stuff. So he doesn't want to he doesn't want to do the mainstream rap thing or talk about mainstream rap because he's got like way more interesting personal things to talk about, and I think that's like makes us more connected to what he's talking about.
And there's so many differences between this and what is it called? Call me if you're lost. Tyler?
Yeah, but it does kind of seems to fill the spot, right? Which is
Which
a very
one that
complicated rap album.
Right.
Yeah, like
right, just I'm gonna peel off my
On that
fucking
note,
skin and
Yeah.
and
Voting
show you guys
time.
what's inside.
Greg, let's start with you.
oh boy. If you had said what is certainly going to be the winner of this before we started everything, I think I would have said Boy Genius was a great choice.
Number 1 seed.
Yeah. But I think, and maybe this is because I listened to it way too much when it first came out, what made the biggest impression on me, what had the biggest effect on me of like any of the albums we
Could
listened
we get
to
really upset?
was definitely
Ryan.
Maps. And so I'm going to go with Maps.
What are you thinking?
Not for me, Mike. I think that the record, aka the album, aka the vinyl disc, by the Jonas Sisters is one of the best albums that we've ever listened to. I think that it brings it all. And by the way, did you guys hear that there's a report that boygenius is gonna go on hiatus?
No.
I just think that if you bring
Yeah,
if you make a supergroup out of 3 prolific artists who all have their own thing going. Yes.
Yeah,
like,
we're
I
gonna
didn't
get
think there'd be
3
another
other
one.
amazing
Like,
records in the
I'm
next
glad we
couple
got
years.
this. And
Like I said, Lucy Dacus is going to go make another Lucy Dacus
Yeah.
album. Yeah, we're going to get a Phoebe Bridgers album. They like.
guys, I think I'm gonna go solo,
Caitlin.
which I was.
I
and
truly
very
don't
successful
know
at right before this. But yeah, I'm gonna
How
go
you're
with
gonna vote,
boygenius.
which is why I went to Ryan because I kind of guessed how he was going to vote.
Wow. Yeah. If the Jonas
No, my
Brothers were
face
in
isn't
this,
that.
I would
That's
definitely
expected.
be
My
saying the
face
Jonas
is- I think
Brothers,
this is
but
building
I'm
up to
gonna,
something.
Just kidding. Mike, your face.
That okay? Based on other stuff you said and that build up, I thought you were going to be like, that's why it's Billy.
But
Wood
yes, I'm
and
going
Maps.
to go
All
with
right.
Ryan with the record. Boy Genius.
I love the record. I don't get to vote, but no, wait, I love Maps. But I'm glad what just happened. You guys voted great. I love it all. I love the album. We're gonna take the quick breaks, and when we come back, our next battle.
You love Maps, the record, the album.
Our second battle is art pop versus hyper pop. Playing 90s dance versus new metal and ska. Magical rabbits versus frogs run amok. Caroline Polacheck's Desire, I Want to Turn, and 100 Gex, 10,000 Gex both play with the pop genre in weird, hooky, sneaky ways, drastically different sonically speaking. Caitlin Budd, I ask you this. Which broken reflection of pop music makes you want to get up and get down?
Mike, great question. These 2 albums are quite possibly my favorite albums off this whole list.
This is a final list.
And it's poppy, and that's probably why I like it. And it's weird. That's why I like it. I came onto the preview show, and I think I was like, Caroline Polacheck, don't like her. And I don't know why I said that, because I actually, I love this album. It's very fun. I think it's just the first song in the album that it shocks you. But I love
Is that
the
because we're no
weirdness.
longer comfortable being invited to anybody's island?
I
Kind of just
yeah.
they all have a little bit of a stink on them now.
I think that was where it's like, I don't want to be on your island because I've heard bad things happen on islands sometimes.
But isn't this the whole basis of Animal Crossing? Like, isn't this how it
That's
works?
true.
And Ryan, and that's what really pulled me back into it. It's like, no, I just forgot, 2020.
Yeah.
My island was popping with all of my friends.
It is an
Did
Animal
Nintendo
Crossing
cause-
concept album.
Did Nintendo cause
Bunny is a
COVID,
rider.
honestly?
Yes.
Animal
100%.
Animal Crossing was a big hit. Sorry, Mike.
What I
No,
liked
I just
about
want to talk
the
about Animal Crossing more. Thank you, Greg. Take it away.
what I liked about the Caroline Polacheck album was it felt very energetic and very chill at the same time.
Yeah, how do you do that?
And I thought, yeah, she pulled off all those things. It felt like just hanging out with your friends, but having a good, fun time, having a fun activity to do, like Animal Crossing from 2020. You guys remember that? The Jack Party Pack 2020?
No joke. When I listen to this album, I go into Zelda mindset, and I feel like I'm on a horse in Zelda, just going through.
But we can all agree it's
The
some
game.
Nintendo genre.
Yeah.
Or
Yes,
franchise, right?
A thousand
Is it the
percent.
bleep bloops?
But that's
the
what
bleep bloops that are sending you into.
the bleep. I have no idea, but the bleep bloops hit me hard, and I really like that her album. And 100 Gex, they're 10,000 Gex. It just, I feel like they did what they did beforehand, but then they made it even weirder and more specifically for me. And then they added horns for this album.
Yes,
there's a lot more.
They
lot
scott
more
out.
ska. Yeah, they got.
Isn't Gex also a video game franchise?
That is a
old,
very
yeah.
old
Is
kind
that
of
like a smart ass
defunct
gecko?
PlayStation franchise. They haven't really kept up with the Gex.
Yeah, I don't see him being in the next Sonic movie, if you know what I mean. I love this matchup because this is exactly what I was talking about. I think that as much as I like the first two, and I don't even know if that's true, but the first two Gex albums that I listened to, as much as I like them, I feel like this is their
Major
first
label,
like big major label release. They did sand off some of the this is hard to listen to edges. And then against Polacheck,
and replace them with aggressively like goofy songs.
Yes.
Sure. No, this is still like the
Hell
Aquabats
yeah.
of our generation. Like, we're going to appeal to your children, and hopefully you might come to a show as well. Not as opposed to, but like along with Polacheck, who I feel like this is the most grounded experimental album of all time. Like, this is everyone can hang with this album, which is
Right.
not what experimental's into. And then while you're listening to it, you will hear other shit. And some of the stuff might weird you out at the beginning, but just like I think everyone will have the same experience that Caitlin did of like, well, this isn't for me.
Yeah, it'll open up
Or
at some
is
point.
it?
It's a bit of a journey. That Welcome to My Island, like how strong she enunciates everything she says, and it does take a little bit of time to get used to. And then Bunny as a Rider is a great song, but I think it does, like, at first you're not expecting it to be exactly what it is. But it's great if you want to sing to your pets. Puppy is a baby. Kitten is a cutie. I mean, you could put a lot of stuff in there, so don't miss that opportunity.
I think one of the harshest things I've ever heard on a podcast is Caitlin, did you put a Polacheck song on the mixtape?
I did.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't, and it was probably what I said.
Okay, so Mike did, but at some point he was like, "Oh, if Caitlin put a song of hers on, it'd probably be Bunny as a Writer," and then just like ran around the room as if that
Which
was
a
the
song I
harshest
love.
roast of all time.
Sometimes you gotta just say stuff.
Yeah, but it's kind of
I was gonna put Sunset. I like that one. That was my favorite one.
That's
off
me
this
and my
album.
daughter's song because we're.
Oh fuck!
We're
it's
each other's
me and
both have
my
daughters.
daughter's
Oh
song.
my god!
Oh my god! Fuck!
That's
Yeah.
the song I sing to my cat because she's
I
my
think
baby.
why both
Kitten
of
is
these
a baby.
experimental acts, why they sand it down is what they are turning their experimental gaze on is specifically music. Both these albums are about music and how music can be fucking stupid. And for Carolyn, it's dance music for the 90s is stupid, but so fun. It's like you hear the chorus, then in the 2000s you hear some frou in there, and then the Gex are just like, ska is so stupid.
Mike doing an admirable job of hosting this music show. Sounds like me on Movie of the Year, where like I'm out of stuff to say. And I'm like, this movie's about
But no, they
movie making.
Do you guys think that you could replace the song "Frog on the Floor" with the Succession hit "Boar on the Floor"? Boar on the floor, get that sausage. Boar on the floor.
How many artists can
and it's
actually
like
write
a
a song
broken-hearted
about
love
getting their tooth
song.
removed?
Oh man,
Just these two.
And
No,
make
how
it
many,
fucking
more
rock.
impressive, and it shows that they're young. But
but
these
go-
guys did it, and then Rena. The kids found nu metal, and they don't realize it's the stupidest fucking worst genre to ever exist. And I don't. There's a point that Jamie's got a gun, which that can't be what it's called.
no, I think
Goes a little too much for me, and it gets too just noise. But for a while, I'm like,
Billy
you can do
knows
nu metal
Jamie.
for a while. 100 Gex. Yes.
I feel like they do know that it's stupid, but they have like a really soft
Yes,
spot in their
facts.
heart for every different type of stupidity. I mean, the first song on this is called "Dumbest Girl Alive," and it celebrates stupidity with such exuberance. Like that's if I had to pick my favorite song on the album, I know that we have like Hollywood Baby fans in the house tonight, and I definitely do love Hollywood Baby. But "Dumbest Girl Alive" is like my new nickname for myself.
Well-
This song shreds so hard.
I'm not sure if Hollywood Baby is my favorite. It's just I'm so shocked that like, oh, this could be clearly played on the radio in any era, and that's
Yeah.
not something I ever thought with
Pick it up.
like there's songs about horses and shit from previous albums. I didn't think that was going to happen. And then going back to Polacheck, going back to what Mike said with how are we rewriting music? Are we redoing music? Or are both of these artists like beating you to the punch? What are you gonna do? Make fun of me?
Mm-hmm.
I already know what you're gonna say, and I'll include that in my writing. Can't you see somebody listening to the first Polacheck song and thinking like, oh, what did Dido meet Grimes? And then later on the
Just
album, she has a
eight-miling
song with
the
Dido
whole
and
album.
Grimes, and I think it's brilliant.
Tell me, I want somebody to tell me I'm wrong. Desire I Want to Turn starts off really strong front-loaded first half of an album, and then there's more songs that make it a full-length album. Right?
I don't. Honestly, we've been doing this for so long that I don't even hold it against you anymore. I just listen to the songs I like.
Yeah.
No one's ever going to write 12 good songs again.
I think this is a case of two albums where you're looking at the tops of the trees and not paying attention to the weaker songs. I mean, I think both of them. There's some skips, I think, on both albums, but I think that you have to appreciate the like playlist ready songs that
maybe
there
it's
are.
And I wonder if
track
it's, like,
listing then, because even if
vinyl's
there
back.
might be skippable
Just play
songs
side
on
A and then put it
10,000
away.
Gex, like the hits keep coming and they don't stop coming. Like Me, the final song still slaps.
Don't stop coming. Okay, yeah. So it's not exactly side A, side B, but I would say roughly half and half. Half of the songs on both albums are forever
I think
songs.
it's when
And then the other
Polacheck
half
is
are
in
like,
dance mode.
This is what else you put on an
She's
album.
like, let's slow down. I'm like, nah, I don't need that from you. Yeah.
Uh-huh. But it's one for us, one for them. You have to give her songs. Where she's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm
And then
cool.
you
They
just
pick me up.
want
you-
it to be picked up all the time.
I don't get a vote,
and that's
so
what
I
100
am
X
now.
gave you. Is that why you are leaning
What's
towards
that
them
called?
more?
Filibustering. Nope. Votation. Ryan, you vote now.
Should we do a vote rotation? There's 4 battles. Oh, okay. Oh, for me, this is not even close. I love the 10,000 Gex album. It was not supposed to be here today, much like Randall from Clerks. Caitlin took a swing and tried to throw it into the Sweet 16, and it made the Elite 8. And for that, I think we should always, respect. For one of our picks to make the Elite
The
8
only other
is
time I've
very
known
rare.
it to happen is
And
on
yet,
the
to
horror
me,
movie
Polacheck
of the
is
year,
hands down.
which I don't know if
10,000
that's come out yet,
Polacheck.
but that's not a spoiler. That's fine. Caitlin, what is your vote? Oh, jeez. Cheese and crackers.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Ah, jeez.
Oh,
Oh,
jeez, Rick.
jeez. These are just the 2 albums where it's like you get 16 albums, then you fall in love with 2 of them and just keep playing these 2 over and over again and then ignore all your other friends just because you like these 2.
It's important to note there that Caitlin hates all 6 other albums in the bracket.
I hate every single one of them with all of my heart. No. But no, these are my 2 favorites. So which of my babies goes on? One baby I did bring into this world, and the other one reminds me of the baby that I brought into this world. So
For drama's
one do I
sake,
choose?
choose 100 Gex.
Are you asking us?
yeah. Which one do I do?
Oh,
What do I do,
I think
Greg?
Polacheck.
I think
All right.
I think
Greg,
you're gonna choose Carolyn Polacheck, I guess.
Okay, I'll do Carolyn.
Oh shit! How awesome would Sophie's choice have been if the Nazis came up to her and she had her real baby and her adopted
Greg,
baby,
your vote
and she was like, "Oh,
doesn't matter."
here's the adopted one."
No problem. Easy peasy. Roll credits. I am used to that, and I'm okay with it. But I would go 10,000 Gex. This was
Sure.
I don't think it's
Wow.
my favorite album of theirs, but it's got probably my top 3 favorite songs of the year on it. And I love A Big Beginning, and this has one of the biggest beginnings of any album that we have. So that's what I would have done if it had mattered, Mike.
Also,
Yeah,
Polacheck,
that'll
some
really
notes
hit.
for next album because she needs them from me.
We
If you're
love
trying to hit
that
my
shit.
generation, start a song off with the
because somebody's already
THX
done it.
intro.
The 20th Century
Like,
Fox.
Yeah, dude.
that's
Hell yeah.
fucking dope.
Then you know the audience is listening.
But you're singing along, but we don't know that because it's.
Or
it's
if
not
somebody's
a
done that,
visual
the
medium.
entire Nicole Kidman AMC intro. People are still into that, right?
Huh, you're gross, you pervert.
Because here, stubbing your toe
We,
actually feels good.
So Carolyn moves on. I don't know
I
if
lost
I said
a
that for the
tooth in
last
a movie
one
theater.
officially, but everybody knows when we've done that. So we're gonna take the
If
quickest
you find
breaks.
it, put it in
When we
milk.
come back, more music. The next battle is our 3rd seed, Sufjan Stevens' Javelin, in his 10th studio album, and return to his singer-songwriter roots without feeling like a boring back to basics, as he weaves another collection of songs meditating on all the ways a heart can break. It's up against their number 10 seed, Young Father's Heavy Heart, a swirling, joyous, dancey, genre-blendy progressive hip-hop, making an album of all vibes. Ryan Budd, I ask you this. What do you need to remember more these days? All the tenderness of your soul, or sometimes you need to cut loose in your living room and sing lyrics you're not sure what they might mean?
Okay. A lot of issues with the question. First of all, isn't Young Father's album Heavy Heavy?
That's what I said?
Yeah, heavy.
You said Heavy Heart.
Okay, my notes say heavy, heavy. Can't read.
Number 2, nobody can, like me, put on a Sufjan Stevens album and fucking
Yeah,
rock
you
out.
dance
So
weird.
I fucking love it. Yeah, this. But to answer your question, like, I think that it takes you about 6 listens of the Young Fathers album to be like, oh man, are they breaking my heart? Because you have been dancing your tiny little butt off, and your butt's on the floor, and you accidentally stepped on both your cheeks because you were dancing so hard. Whereas,
Hope I didn't hurt my feet. My hard butt cheeks.
God, they're so hard.
Yeah,
Are you turned on right now?
working out.
Sufjan Stevens' album, you sort of get from the get-go that this is gonna be a sad little journey.
But I don't know how much you guys have followed Sufjan's journey. He, at a certain point, was just like, all the production, everything always, wall of sound, 10,000 people on this band and album with me. And this one is his first one in forever. He's just like, it's just me. It's just me again.
Return to that more folky sound.
And yet, I will say that there's deceptively more production in this album than you think it is. And that's not a knock. I'm saying I love production. I don't want to hear music that isn't full of production.
Producers
Brian's
are
a
the
back of the
true
house guy.
artists.
They really are. Well, record executives, then producers, then
the
singer-songwriters.
managerial class.
But as him on a stool on a stage, naked, and then somebody screams, "Somebody get this man a harmonica!" That this sounds like it is. It's not like Phil Spector, but it is very produced, and I love that about this album.
It is definitely Steven's take on Phil Spector in a couple of songs, but I don't know. I think it's just honed in and focused in a way that is missing. Young Fathers. None of us have heard them before, right?
No.
Fourth album.
Wow,
This is-
4th album? I never would have guessed it.
There's an energy. It's gonna sound derogatory. It sounds like a bunch of like art students in college made an album. The amount of ideas thrown together that work here is.
And this, Mike,
Bananas.
this is just like you said this about Maps, that like their songs go so many places and you think like these must be long songs. It's the same thing on
2 minutes.
But they're like all 3 minutes and 30 seconds, almost exactly. Almost every single song on this is like 3:34, 3:35.
And also, I mean, like, if you had to put this in your Tower Records, Mike, that you're about to open because you believe in physical media, which I
It's
appreciate.
gonna come back.
I don't know what. Like, I guess you would eventually find a genre, but like, it's really all. Like, is there a section that just says all?
They call themselves or people, if you have to decide, say progressive hip hop, and I still think, I guess it feels like progressive is doing a lot of work there.
To like, I mean, hip hop. I can see the hip hop like influences,
yes,
but not like. I mean, I wouldn't pin it onto that because there's also like world music influences.
It's world.
And
It's world. Hip hop feels racist. Like, do they sound black? Let's just put them in hip hop.
where are they actually from? Scotland.
Scotland, yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like that is like the some of the vocals are Scottish as all heck.
Oh yeah. When he does like his kind of talk singing, you're like, oh, you're Scottish, man. Scrooge McDuck on the mic.
I have not listened to many Sufjan Stevens records, but this is exactly what I imagined he sounded like, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I think he's like a master at like the space that he's in. I loved listening to these albums at very different times.
Yeah.
I found the Sufjan Stevens album to be very calming. Maybe like what he's saying is heartbreaking, but like I found that when I was feeling anxious, listening to this album made me feel a little bit better.
Well, that's what I think really hits in this album is there's like a beauty to your heartbreak, the Nicole Kidman thing, but on this album.
Listening to this album, your heartbreak feels good. But I think that like at the end of the day, I loved what Sufjan Stevens was doing, but I was blown away by Heavy Heavy. Like that this was the album that from almost the moment you turn it on, you just like are totally gripped by. It's hard not to move listening to it. There's a ton of energy to it. And yet every time I listened to it, it seemed like a different album in some way. Like there was just something I hadn't heard before, and I noticed it like a fresh. And it made it like I just kept going back to listen to it to just feel like I had like sort of gotten all of it, and there was always more every time I returned to it, I felt.
Oh yeah, Sufjan Stevens. So these I listened to them with just my daughter while I was playing with her, and this one felt like a lullaby, and I feel like she really liked that one because it was just so soothing.
Yeah, totally.
And it sounds like that, but then I think someone already said it, once you listen to it more, it's so fucking sad. It's so sad. It's like the saddest, like hippie lullaby. Like I feel, Brian, you said you couldn't dance to it. I feel like I can like sway back and forth to this for a really long time while I'm crying.
My tears dance. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, my tears will dance down my face. That's what it sounds like.
Will anybody ever love me for good reason? Not for sport. Not for sport. What has happened in this gentleman's life? It's frightening. And also, can we think this is rhetorical, but can we think of an artist who has released a all-timer every 10 years? Like Illinois was 2005, and then Carrie and Lowell was 10 years later, and then this is 10 years after that. He seems sort of like a new fresh face. He has 3, and yeah, I would put Javelin in those all-timers.
Yeah, and I'll take any like noodling or middling albums in between if you churn out the all-timers every 10 years and how good they are.
Oh, I'm a big believer in the is it not Chuck Palahniuk, but who's the guy? Cocoa Puffs or
Klosterman?
Klosterman. I'll take the Klosterman view of do not look at the whole career.
No.
Get the highlights, and that is how we
Look
pick
at the
our
highs.
Hall of Famers.
But especially, I think, as a musician, and maybe other artists too, but I'm going to say no, just musicians. All those other steps that we don't love really matter to get to the moments we do love. You know what? It's voting time. Caitlin.
Woo.
Young Fathers or Sufjan Stevens? Where are you going?
It's super hard because they're both very. I enjoyed both of them, but for very different reasons. I think I'm gonna go with the Fathers on this one.
It's your Catholic upbringing. Greg?
Yeah, the Young Fathers have a song called Holy Moly. And holy moly is such a great expression, and it's really built it. It's right at the center of that song.
And restaurant, is that national?
No,
or
that
do we
is
just have
local. That is local to not even Southern California. Long Beach.
Yeah, very
and then
local.
they extended into one in Orange County.
So if you're not from the area, you don't know that you're missing the best
they're so
tacos of all time.
And if you're not from the area, move to this area.
Yeah, there's not enough
Hey,
people.
everyone's
I think,
moving
in
here.
Southern California.
But yeah, Young Fathers. This is like the Heavy was one of the best discoveries of the year for me, and so I'm going to go with them.
Ryan, pretend your vote matters. Which way would you have gone?
I did listen to Coco Sugar, Young Father's album before that, and it was so impenetrable. Really? It's just not so like it's still great, but again, another album where they were like, "What if we just made this a little bit more listen toable?" And the reason I love this album,
you could really penetrate it.
I could fucking.
That's
why I bought this on CD.
To the hilt.
Is that like if you squint at the lyrics, it seems positive. If you listen to them, actually, it's not. But the music makes you think that it is. And how many of those albums do we have on this bracket? So yeah, I'm going Young Fathers, even though it doesn't matter. And I'm so sorry, Sufjan, but you were so sad. Too sad.
So
Clean
sad.
sweep and our biggest upseat with our 10th seed taking out our 3rd seed. We're going to take the quickest of breaks, and when we come back, our final battle of round 1. In our final battle of the first round, Olivia Rodrigo is back with her infectious pop-punk influenced pop, and Guts has honed her confessional, sassy, messy, hook-laden shtick sharper than ever. She's up against Mitski's The Land is Inhospitable, and So Are We, which is an Americana/orchestral pop album inspired by spaghetti westerns that might just be Mitski reinventing herself as a way to deal with TikTok virality. Taste buds, I ask you this. Which take on isolation makes you want to grab a glass of something stiff and throw it back?
I would say Mitski's album makes me want to grab a cake, a whole cake, and throw that back.
Like,
all on my own.
Like that lady from A Ghost Story who ate a whole pie while she was sitting on the floor.
Our hero.
This is a tough matchup for both of them, I think, because they're both kind of reinventions. Olivia Rodrigo, just by virtue of being the second album, feels like a fresh take on her same material, and Mitski seems like, as you said, Mike, like sort of like going out of her way to adopt not a new persona, but a new sound that feels like, I don't know, a new take on her same persona.
The sad sweetness that's always been there is still
yeah,
there.
that's still
and
a big part. And like
clever.
oops, I fucked up my life real bad.
And nobody can stop me, not even me. But the like, neither a bleep nor a blurp is heard on this album, and instead.
I'll tell you this much: I listened to this Mitski album, and I have loved her last two albums.
Yeah,
couldn't remember a single thing after listening to this one. Like this is what does her sound? What does she sound like? What was the one that broke her? It was like a Cowboy Bebop.
Be a Cowboy Bebop, I think.
Be a Cowboy
Be a better
Bebop.
cowboy. So, yeah, cowboys were involved.
And loved them, but like now it's gone because now all I hear is my Mitski.
When I listened to this, got into it, loved it, and then when I started reading, I was like, "What do you mean reinvent sound?" She's always been like super sparse and Western influenced, and then I went back. I was like, "No, she fucking hasn't, you
That's
moron."
not what she's been like.
But it really it is powerful enough that it's a mind eraser.
And I don't know anything to like compare it to. Like at first I was thinking Way Is Blood, but that's just because they're both weird albums. It doesn't sound like it. She sounds like some fucking 1800s Western hipster that released an album, like
and like anti-TikTok, right? Like almost like purposely, because you said like
she
dealing with TikTok, but the way she seems to be dealing with it is
never
you
dance
couldn't
to these
use
songs.
any of this. Yeah, like you couldn't find any snippet to use.
Except, I
on
guess,
TikTok.
you know how you hate dealing with your family. I don't know how TikTok works, actually, guys. I'm not on it, so. But I assume. Can you clip that 1 second? I don't know.
The way TikTok works is occasionally one of your friends will send you a TikTok, and then you watch that TikTok, and then you close the browser afterwards.
That's how I do it. You close the browser before it infects your phone.
Yeah, before it tries to show you another thing.
Before China like elbows Russia and is like, look at these fucking idiots watching TikTok. Let's take all their information.
Fix my credit, jackasses.
Yeah.
For me, sometimes these albums, I would say when we do these brackets at the end of the year, a lot of my listening is directed by the bracket. So like, it's not that I'm taking something I already listened to and then applying my opinion to it. It's like I'm being told what to listen to. That's not the case with either of these albums, but particularly not with Guts by Olivia Rodrigo. I was there day one, and this is one of the best
for sure.
workout albums that we have on our list. Not just because it's up-tempo, but because it's fun, funny, and emotionally resonant, and all of those moods carry you through, let's say, a 45-minute elliptical routine. And so, like, this is, like, if we're really trying to find a genuine 2023 sound, for me, this is, like, what I was listening to for most of 2023.
Totally. We are a group who loved Sour. We're in her age range, so I think that's probably what it speaks to us a lot.
For sure,
but
definitely.
It is fucking funny for an album to be solely about breakups and messing up. There's not a happy song on here either. It's super funny, and she's constantly like, yeah, I'm 22 and stupid. That's kind of the point, guys. Flipping off her friends.
Because it's kind of funny to be the author of your own destruction constantly is kind of funny. Like,
it's funny now. Not when we were doing it. That was shitty and sad.
Not
we were
when
destroying
she's
ourselves.
Mitski's age. She will no longer think it's funny.
But I also...
It is a little sad to hear her say I got everything I wanted, but it's just not what I thought it was. Like, that's always a sad sentiment.
I don't know if O-Rod's album is like the teen dramas that we watch, where they're written by 50-year-old men.
They probably are, though, right?
Or if she's writing them herself. But I didn't know, I never thought before, that the phrase "get him back" could mean like
double meaning.
I want my boyfriend back, and also I want revenge.
I want to kiss his face with an uppercut.
How is this now occurring to me?
I want to meet his mom to tell her she fucked up, right?
But like the reason why I think that she could literally like star in movies is, first of all, Olivia.
already
She's an
famous.
actress.
Olivia, you have created the my 3-year-old's favorite album of the year, which is awesome because my 3-year-old likes rock and pop, like exactly, and this is it. Just stop cutting out the music every time you curse.
'Cause
Like,
now-
that's we get that part. Like every time you have to say
So
the
now your
F word,
3-year-old
put
only knows
music
those
behind it,
words?
so it's a little. But her saying, her delivery of "fuck it, it's
Yeah.
fine" is the
Yeah.
funniest
Yes.
thing I have
I
heard
laugh
all year.
every
The
time.
bad idea, right, is there's like a talk. It could be annoying, but she like walks that tightrope of like she encapsulates that drunk energy throughout the song, and so it is just charming and funny and just feels. I hope it's not 50-year-old dudes writing this because it feels so real and specific. In his sheets, like there's a weird.
The other thing is that we talked about in the, I think, preview show about how pop punk is dead, or Mike in the mixtape
It is not
episode,
dead.
you made sure to get a pop punk song on there to like declare that it's not dead. It isn't dead because one of the
Yes.
biggest selling albums of the year is pop fucking punk. Like this is the music from my era. The way that she just declares like, "Don't bore us, get to the chorus," and talks her way through the verses. Like, I literally don't care what the verse is about. I'm just going to say this right now. But very soon, the drums and guitars are going to hit, and then they do. And it's awesome every time.
My little girl from High School Musical, the series, Olivia Rodrigo. The one who
true.
I've been shouting from the rooftops is amazing from the beginning.
And
I'm
also, who's got a song just for you, right? Called Vampire?
Yes.
Right?
She's like, she and me, besties.
Now,
Like-
Caitlin, you've talked so long off the podcast about how much
Yeah.
you support Sabrina Carpenter.
But you know what? I can't stand by that. I can't stand by that, Ryan.
Is
I'm
that just
Olivia
lies?
Rodrigo.
I don't know what any of this
she
means.
did some weird things on a trampoline, is what I've heard.
Explain.
What normal thing has anyone ever done on a trampoline?
I jerked off all the time.
Exactly. Sabrina Carpenter is the other girl that Olivia Rodrigo wrote "Sour" about.
Right.
Oh.
Jonathan Bassett, Joshua Bassett, whatever the fuck his name is. They were both. She was dating him.
So,
And
I did some
he left
digging.
her for her.
Yeah. The main producer of this
Yeah.
album
Uh-oh.
is
He
Here we
found
go.
a body.
Negro, who is the singer from As Tall as Lions. Not a 50-year-old man. He was born in 1982, so pretty young guy who gets it.
Oh, a young hip guy, yeah. Man, okay, so that's not surprising at all. That even
Yeah,
though she's
they
so
didn't
young,
speak
other 42-year-old guys are like, "Man, I really like this. I like what you're talking about here."
But I will say my wife, who is in between my age and my daughter's age, let's say, makes fun of both of us.
Closer to his age, everybody.
makes fun of both of us constantly, both of us,
The baby and you.
and me,
Man, she's roasting both of you.
for rocking out to Olivia Rodrigo. And to that I say, here's my middle finger, because it just fucking rocks.
It's just fun. It's a lot of fun, and the sass. I love her whole persona, and it does.
Well, and that's
I would never have guessed that she
it's
didn't
the
write
producer,
these songs.
so she
They
could
do
have still
feel
wrote them.
very
I wasn't
genuine,
saying,
like from a person
it
her
feels
age.
authentic, and probably is.
Well, I know.
Wow. Now Mitski's kicking herself because
They were
going
all written by
head to
Mitski
head.
and Madonna.
And producer Dave
Together.
is in my ears. I apologize. I was reading things fast. It is Dan Nigro. If the listener made the face, every panelist made.
Ah.
Sometimes you're trying to juggle 8 things, guys. And you just read phonetically, and that's not always the best.
And producer Dave, even if that's not how it's pronounced, I'm glad you told Mike to switch it anyway.
He'll let
Like
the-
it's a
That's
better
a better
pronunciation.
way. That's a better way to pronounce it. But yeah, the Olivia Rodrigo album checks every box. It's like everything you're looking for
Come on,
in an
that's
album.
beautiful.
It delivers. 12 songs, under 40 minutes. Like
Love
this
that.
is, man, you're really getting there. But like you got your funny songs, you got your energetic songs. There's like some ballads.
Try to sit still in your car. Try to not miss
wanna-
karaoke in your car. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mitski. I love you, girl. But
You're gonna yell "fuck it, it's fine" every time she says it. It's
every
very
in
fun.
between every Mitski song, I'm like, fuck it, it's fine.
Fuck it, it's
Play
fine.
the next Mitski song.
I want to karaoke some Mitski. I want to make people sit through that. And even, but a theme of this year, some of these songs, especially, so Mitski it feels long because they're sparse, and she lets the quiet build. Yeah. They're all under 4 minutes. Mitski is 32 minutes. That's the theme this year. Everybody finally realized, like, even if it is an album-ass album, it feels like it, which is what we try to judge here. Short attention spans. Let's get through. Let's tell our stories quickly,
my fear with
people.
Sufjan was that it was too overdramatic, not enough flash. And I think that the Mitski album is amazing. But I actually think that what I was thinking about Sufjan was actually more towards the Mitski album. Not enough flash. Too much
Not enough
arrow.
flash.
Caitlin fell down a hole. I don't know if we want to do anything about that.
Let's vote, though it feels like we all are going a certain way.
I cannot
Ryan.
believe I'm telling Mitski so hard to kick rocks, but I am. It's O-Rod.
Yeah. Cool that Mitski
Greg?
has a new sound, but it was not. This album just didn't make enough of an impression on me. And Guts was like, yeah, my 2023 probably most played album.
Yeah, I think you nailed it for me because I was like, I don't know, and you're like, this is the sound of 2023.
Yeah.
I was like, well, fuck. Caitlin, if your vote mattered,
You know
Which
it's
way
with
would
my
it have
girl,
yeah,
Olivia.
with your girl Mitski. Oh, I'm surprised. Well, we have our 4 of the final variety. We're gonna take a quickest break and keep those battles going. Let's do it. Let's make it hurt. Round 2, battle 1. Boy Genius, the record, up against Caroline Polacheck's Desire. I Want to Turn. Ryan, any final thoughts before I make you just vote right away?
I mean, it's hard because I already have Boy Geniuses vinyl in the house, but
I was talking about me and
Yeah,
Mike.
so did I.
Polacheck is on the way to the house, so I know the record, and now I have to look at it every time to see what the name is because I don't want to call it the album.
Look like a real
and look
dingus.
Like a fucking moron.
And you can't just remember something like
No,
that. So you
that's
have to-
gone from my brain forever. But I do have to say that as much as I love and appreciate all 3 of these women, I think that Polacheck is actually the Olivia Rodrigo of 2023, and I'm going to go with her.
Wow. Caitlin?
Earlier, you said the Boy Genius album is one of the best albums
Yeah,
of all
that's true. You
time.
did say that.
Also said that about the Sufjan Stevens album and voted against.
I guess they're all
Stop
kind
believing Ryan.
of among some of the best.
No, you
albums.
can just say whatever the fuck you want, dude. I think Killers of the Flower Moon was the best album of the year. Okay, just
Man, but you see Killers of the Flower Moon, and it feels like that movie just stalks you. It feels like it's just always right behind you, being like, "Hey, man, you should think about me."
There should be an Olivia Rodrigo song about how she's dating, or she did date Killers of the Flower Moon, and now it's stalking her.
For me,
Like Godzilla.
the one thing that the Boy
-1.
Genius album really has going for it for me is the same thing as the Guts album, where it's like I was so prepared
Yeah.
for this album to come out, and when it did, it was like, oh yeah, I gotta listen to that later, and I was already listening to it anyway, and that just does give a huge advantage because I just feel like I have like such a lived experience with this album. If that's not an
And
awful thing to
we've
say.
like talked about different albums that have like a vibe, even if it does that vibe well. If you're like, well, if I'm not in the mood for that vibe, Sufjan, I don't know. And I think what the record does is you might think because it starts off with those harmonies, so you think of it, you're like, well, that's a pretty mellow album. This shit is fucking fiery guitar and loud as shit at times, and it rules.
Best and worst, as far as what you're talking about, Mike. Best and worst opening song. Like, thank you for telling me what I'm about to get into. It's like watching a trailer for the movie before that specific movie before that movie. But like the trailer kind of
huge lie, because they melt your face off on $20 bill. I think right after that song. So Greg, your vote was. Ooh, I
Boy
love when
Genius.
there's drama. Caitlin, it is
Drama. Wow, I feel like I have so much power right now. It's crazy. I am going to go with Caroline Polacheck. This album, fucking loved it. Like I said, it was really hard for me to get down from 100 Gex.
Yeah, this is the more kinetic album. Like this is the more actiony, fun.
How could you say no to one that sounds like you're on a horse in the middle of Zelda?
Also, as we talked about in the previous show, the winner of all things in 2022. Does anybody remember what that is?
No.
No.
We put our album, TV comedy, TV drama, and movie
yeah.
against each other, and then picked the winner of all things. And it was the White Lotus.
Ah.
And there's a song that's just the White Lotus
That's true.
theme song that starts it off.
Yep.
You guys have made so many good decisions. That was a bad one. I can't do anything about it, but there's not a stinker. There's not a skippable song on the record, but Desire I Want to Turn moves on. We're going to take the quickest break, and when we come back, another battle. Round 2, Battle 2. Young Father's Heavy Heavy versus O-Rod's Guts. Caitlin, you are a young mother who lives with a young father, but you've got guts. Which way are you leaning?
Wow. So hard. To be honest, I did not think Olivia Rodrigo's album was going to go this far. I didn't even think it was going to make it past the Sweet 16. But that being said, I do really, really enjoy this album. It bops. I just didn't think everyone was going to agree with me. Heavy Heavy, I feel like, is one where we could live and listen to, and like every single one of us can find something that we enjoy and dance along to it in weird ways. So two little dancey albums, and I'm going to go with my girl, Olivia.
Greg, what's the opposite of misogyny?
Oh, androgyny.
Misandry?
I feel like
Misandry.
There we go. That's what we're feeling right now.
Androgyny, something very different.
The fact that she thinks we would have hated Olivia Rodrigo.
Yeah, it's clear that
misandry.
she doesn't listen to us or the music we play all of the time.
I think it's just because I feel like she had been shat on before
By
in the
whom?
past.
By other
when I brought her
people
up.
from High School Musical, not by us.
We're good boys.
When I brought her up in the High School Musical, the musical, the series, you're like, that's a dumb show, and it's like, no, it's fucking good. She's great.
Well,
And then
that's
she
a
released an
very
album, and it
different
was
thing.
good.
Like,
No, there's been tons of Cher albums that are great. That does not make the Sonny and Cher. Is this hitting your demographic?
I
Caitlin?
just think it was the more, yeah, definitely. I think it was like, I like the Jonas Brothers. You guys won't like the Jonas Brothers because I like Olivia Rodrigo so much. You probably won't like them, but I'm so glad that we all agree.
she makes good
I'm just
music.
This is the one thing you like that's good.
They don't make
Yeah,
fun
she
pop
does.
punk. They make. I
fun.
couldn't tell you.
They don't.
It's forgettable
You-
as shit. Who
You know what?
knows? And he's a bad dad. The
Ooh,
one who I'm on.
which
I'm on
one?
Sophie Turner's
Sophie
side.
Turner's
Team
ex-husband?
Sophie Turner for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, Joe. It's so hard for me
Go back
because
to
I'm a
Joe
Joe
Mama.
girl. So
being on Sophie Turner's side though is also wild.
Joe Mama. I don't choose sides here because I have no idea. I didn't read up enough on it.
Oh, I don't
so-
have enough information, so I'm
I'm-
not just gonna pick a random.
I'm not. A
That's
misogynist.
ridiculous.
Do you
I'm
hear
on
yourself?
Sophie Turner's side. I don't understand.
And I'm not an androgynist.
I would love to.
Mike, do you wanna
I
know
think
my
it
vote?
does,
Doesn't
'cause,
even matter.
We got like a Cher reference, but I don't think Ryan's voted yet. So yeah, I would love if you voted Greg.
I'm voting for Moonstruck, starring Cher.
Nick Cage is so hairy. in
Snap
that
out
movie.
of it.
You've got a wonderful Nick Cage,
braces.
just an absolute snack.
you know,
Great
he-
Danny
yeah.
Aiello in that too.
He could have been Nick Coppola, but he went by Nick Cage, and he still got that role.
He did. He
And
did.
Cher won an Oscar for that. And I
Also,
want
check out Dream Scenario with Nick Cage.
to, okay.
Yeah,
I feel
check
like
it
I've
out.
seen
Check out The Weatherman
Charlie
with
Kaufman
Nick Cage.
knockoffs before, so I don't need to
Oh.
watch that.
That's very rude, but you should check it out. I'm going to go with Olivia Rodrigo Guts. In sum, I'm going with Olivia Rodrigo Guts.
We got
and
Guts
Dream
here.
Scenario by Nick Cage.
Wow.
Pretend your vote matters. Where would you have gone?
I love
Oh, for
this
sure.
Guts album. It is better than Sour because it's more like I'm going to dive even deeper into the Courtney Loves and the Paramours that I copy and not just copy, but like embrace and give homage to. I definitely would have gone.
It
Young
is the find
Fathers.
of the
This is
year.
the find of
It
the
reminds me a lot
year.
of where Have You Lost Your Mind Yet? I think that was 2020. Not I was gonna say album of the year. I don't think it won, but Fantastic Negrito. The beginning of it. These are two of the best album
Yes.
openers ever, and I think it's the newness and the energy in it, and of like, how have I never heard this before?
Right. Instead of saying, "Oh, I like all kinds of music,"
I like Fantastic
just say when
Burrito.
people ask you,
You got a
"I like
problem with
Fantastic
that?"
Burrito."
Then you spit
And
in
I
their face.
think that Young Fathers is that same thing. Oh, I just wanted to meet you at this party, but no, I have spit in my face now. So
Overrod
androgyny.
moves on, which means your final battle of the evening is Caroline Polacheck's Desire I Want to Turn versus Olivia Rodrigo's Guts. Yeah,
And
sometimes
it's
you write
Desire I
dot
Wanna
dot in all your
Turn
notes
into
and you
you,
forget
right?
that maybe there's
yeah,
Yeah.
Mike, you. Desire, I want to
It's
dot
been
dot
clear
dot.
tonight. I've forgotten how to
Let's
read,
get to
all
those
right?
dot dot dots, huh?
No, something happened to your note taking. You used to be such a good podcaster.
Jamie, can you
And
look
now
that
you're
up? Is
shit.
that an accurate
You're just like
reference?
Joe Rogan, basically.
Yeah, what a diss. I'm so
Ooh.
rich
The
now.
world's wealthiest.
It's okay that I look like
podcast.
Uwatu the Watcher got on roids.
Mike knows that that's a diss. I don't care how many compliments you pull.
The
from that.
funniest thing anybody ever said about Joe Rogan is he looks like a guy who goes, "It's the bat."
That's why
He's got
hench
such
should never
henchman
become
face.
lead, because that's what happened.
Oh,
to
it's
Joe
the
Rogan.
bat. So, in sum, my vote is for Guts by Olivia
Ryan?
Rodrigo
Wow.
for album of the year.
Oh, I'm a little nervous now.
It was.
I had thought that Boy Genius was the album of the year because it's chalk, right? It's the number one seed,
Yeah.
but I always knew in my heart that it was Polacheck. Like that's been it for me
Yeah, you
for
did.
10 months probably. I'm gonna
I
go with
think
that.
you said this like 5 months ago.
Yeah, I sort of put my flag in this album, but Caitlin is like doing that Huck Finn thing where she
Yeah.
jumps up in the air and kicks her heels.
Yeah,
and then
when
jumps
you
up in the air and kicks
this
her
summer,
heels.
Yeah.
Ryan, when you were
So,
like, "No, that's the
I'm
album
gonna
of
go
the
with
year."
Polacheck
I
and
had
see
listened to it
what
when it
Caitlin
came
says.
out and went, "Okay,
Wow.
whatever." Because listen, Mince, I was like working and working out and doing chores and like, yeah,
We have these pre-lists that are so early that it's foolish
and I
to
listened. I was
listen
like, "Whatever,
to or
who
watch
cares?"
anything
and
on
then
that
Ryan's
list.
like, "No,
and
album
this
of the
was
year." I was like,
on
"All right,
the
sit your leather
original
chair,
list.
stare at the wall, and fucking fold your arms and listen." And I did.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit my white ass down because
Caitlin.
this white dude told me about a white woman.
You are the decider for album
Good job,
of the
Mike.
year.
Yes.
This is it, dude.
Wow, guys, thank you. First of all, wow. So Carolyn Polacheck, Spotify did bring her to me because that's what my Spotify does. It brings me good people now.
Daddy
Spotify, I want
algorithm.
to turn into you.
Spotify, thank you. You are a genius. You did great, and I appreciated it. So I have had some time to marinate on this. Olivia Rodrigo, obviously I knew it was coming out. Followed her on Instagram. Was waiting for this to drop. Saw so much Twilight in this and was very exciting. So these are just two very strong women, strong albums.
My palms are
and
sweating.
I am going to go with Caroline Polacheck.
Nail biter. Yeah.
Damn! Exciting. I am so surprised by that. I thought that was going the other way. You have betrayed Olivia Rodrigo. You will be the subject of the next album.
Yes, my dream.
It's going to be called Vampire Slayer.
Jesus.
Caitlin's next hit, which is called Sabrina Carpenter, much like a different Carpenter, semicolon, Jesus.
Same.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I
I've
think I
talked a lot
voted
of
against
shit,
this album every
but it's
single
only
time.
'cause
I have to
think
say
it should
it's
be the
very
album of the
good.
year.
It's a worthy winner.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of fun. But it's a lot of fun. It has all the different moods that we've talked about with the different albums. It's like what we said up top. It's somehow energetic and chill at the same time. I think it does capture the vibe of 2023 very effectively.
like our mix of dumb shit that we love, but artsy that we pretend to love.
Uh-huh.
Like that's, I think it. Mike, what did you? What? Not just what you predicted, but like because we took your vote. away,
yeah,
and
I
I'm very
mean,
sorry.
I'm
what
a-
did you think and want
I
was
used to be a
gonna win?
teacher,
If
so
you
I
had
love
suffrage,
chalk. So
what would
it
you
would
have
have been
Stevensed?
Boy Genius is my album of the year, and down to these two, Guts is because again, if it's what defined 2023, not just for the few of us in this room, but for the fucking world, it's Guts.
Oh, and I want to make it clear to you four and Caroline Polacheck. I will never listen to your album again, and I'm going to listen to Olivia Rodrigo, that album, for the rest of my
Every
life.
damn day of my life.
Fuck it, it's fine.
But no, Caroline, congratulations. Come down and get this year we're doing giant wrestling belts. So get your best year 2024 wrestling belt for music, and we'll have somebody dust that off for you. So that is it. We still in the future, of course, have what some call the ones that matter: TV comedy, TV dramedy, and TV movies. Oh man, imagine that. Best of TV movies.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
let's do a no show.
Lifetime's Wendy Williams biography, #1 for sure.
It slaps. So that's it. I think I forget how movie the year ends or how booty the year
You
ends.
lay on the plane, you stupid son of a bitch.
Drop pad, where do you have that?
Until then, keep listening to those albums. Fair to throw that in my face.